Welcome to another video by Ferris Technology. Today I want to talk about conditional functions. Those functions that allow you to have two different answers, one true, one false, and put them together such that your program can make decisions on the data on the fly. So let's get started. Okay, so conditional functions, there are two. The first one is what they call in Access the immediate if. Now the immediate if is the IIF, so that's kind of confusing at times for Visual Basic purists that have just an if statement or other coding where it's just if. But IIF, and then you have the expression, the true answer, and the false answer. Logically, it's a very easy function to work with, very easy. And in fact, I'm not even going to show you an example of this particular one, but let's go on to what if I have more than just the one condition that can be true or false? What if I have, well, it needs to be, if it's this, it needs to be that. If it's this, it needs to be that. If it's this, another thing, it needs to be another thing. Well, you can nest your immediate if functions. And here's a little bit of an example. So if the value is greater than 100, I want it to be A. So if the value is greater than 100, it's an A class, top notch, top of the line. So if the value is less than 100, though, I want it to be C. And then if it doesn't meet either one of those conditions, in other words, if it's not less than or it's not greater than, in other words, it's equal to, we're going to have that be B. So literally, we have the first condition, greater than 100, the next condition, less than 100, and the third condition equals 100. And so we can go in here, we can nest this if-then statement here in the midst of the other statement. So we have the first condition here, and then if it doesn't meet this condition, normally we'd expect the false condition. Well, so if it's false, we said, we got to check it again. Here we're going to say if it's greater than, go ahead and give it a C. So our false condition is actually checking for another condition. And then our third thing that says if it doesn't meet either one of those, we're going to give it a B. And that basically is the only other condition is that it's equal to 100. Okay? But, you know, nesting can get to be a little bit cumbersome. Like for this example, now let's just add one more condition. If it's over 10,000, give it an A. If it's between 5 and 10, give it a B. If it's between 1 and 5, give it a C. But if it's less than 1, give it a D. Here we have a nested situation where if this condition is true, give it an A. But the false condition, it says, let's check another one. If that meets this condition and it's less than this condition, give it a B. Well then, if it doesn't meet either one of these conditions, though I don't want to give it a default condition yet. It's not ready for an else statement yet. The if condition is checked again as less than 1,000 or is greater than 1,000 or less than 5,000, then give it a C. Then if it doesn't meet all three of these, we're going to give it a D. And that meets the situation down here. But just the fact that it's starting to get cumbersome would lead me to believe we've got to do something else. And regular programmers are used to a case statement or another type of switch function. And what Microsoft Access implements is a switch function that allows you to give it an expression and give the value if it meets the condition of this expression, and the second and the third. And then value 3 can be just the default value at the end. Now, in order for value 1 to be chosen, this has to be true. Now, for value 3 at the end to be chosen, you then have to come down here and just put the word true, because true is true, right? So when it evaluates true, it evaluates to true, and then we'll give you that final entry. So here we go. Now we can take this and go anything less than 1,000, we're going to give it a D. Oh, what are we doing here? We're reversing it. We're eliminating the possibility of conditions by turning it on its head and saying, I'm going to check for the low ones first. If it's less than this lowest one, give it a D. If it's less than the next one, because a switch statement works like if it meets the one condition, it doesn't check any of the others. Where our if then else statement, we have to do some minutia in there to get the between statements to work and function properly. But here, the simplicity of a switch statement allows us to reverse it, check for the lowest condition first. If it meets that lowest condition, we're done. Let's ratchet it up a little farther and see if we meet any more conditions. And in effect, it will meet the condition between 1,000 and 5,000 in this, because it's already eliminated everything under 1,000. Now we'll eliminate the next band under 5,000, then we'll do it under 10,000, and then we'll just say the rest of them are true and give the last one an A. So essentially what we've done here is start with the D, saying less than 1,000, and then start with the C, less than 5, B, less than 10, A, greater than 10,000. And we've given all of the conditions. The A becomes the default in here, where the D was the default when we did an if-then statement. So choose which one you use based on what you're more comfortable with, and also what becomes more succinct and easy to read as you pass it off to a user. So please, if you find this useful, please hit that like button, get it out to more people. And if you'll subscribe, it will help the channel greatly. And we hope to see you again in the next video. Thanks.